Welcome to it, sports fans. It is the MKT Show, and I am MKT. Yep, a man so egotistical, he has named a show after himself. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it feels good. It feels really good. It feels good to have a show with your own name. It feels good. All I've got is my ego. Um, Never been the smartest guy, but I tell you what, if you're not going to be smart, at least have an ego. And if you're going to have an ego, have a show named after yourself. That's the way I look at it. So, like, this is just purely an ego exercise. But hey, good to be with you. MKT, that's Gareth Cliff, who's physically distancing by a mile. People are, some people are going to say, oh, that's a wax bobblehead model, blah, blah, blah. I'm not listening to those people. Don't even listen to them. That's actually Gareth Cliff. He comes in the studio and he sits way at the back of the studio here and listens diligently, which, of course, if you know Gareth Cliff, that's his favorite thing to do, is to be quiet and listen and say nothing at all and never have an opinion. That's what he loves doing. So good to have him here. Good to have you here. And of course, it's my show. So great to have me here. Thank you to me. Thank you to me. Hey, what are we talking about tonight? Listen, Pep Guardiola, we'll talk about that. And I'll tell you exactly what I think of Pep. I've given my ratings before, had some pushback from people, but this is another level. And then we'll talk about the Leo Messi. I don't think it's a debacle. It just is what it is. I'll tell you what I think he should do, because I mean, it's not like he's the greatest player of all time or anything. So what he wants to do is hear from me about what he should do with the rest of his life. But I'll tell you why I think he should do what he should do, and we'll finish off with that. MKT Inspires on the socials. It is Cliff Central Sport or Cliff C Sport on Twitter. Cliff Central Sport across the board. All right, let's get into it. Remember to push like if you like this content. If you don't like it, don't push anything. Just live your life and have your crisps wherever you're sitting. All right, let's get into it. Listen, I've said this before. If you have great in your life, so for me, come from a school of sort of thought at home. Uh, my first mentor was my mom, really. And her thing was she never wanted her kids to chase money, because if you do the process correctly, there's lots of money. There's lots of money everywhere. If the process is right, you put in the work. She thinks her kids are smart. She put lots of effort into us. So we're okay. So her thing to us was never ever chase money. Don't ever chase your passion either, because that's nonsense that you listen to Oprah. Like, my mom's not tolerating that. It's work hard and have a process, right? But she said to us early on, very early, I remember in school saying, if you have a good teacher, if you have a good mentor, if you have a good coach, follow that person, because great is impossible to find. So if you have a great teacher, great coach, great mentor, follow that person, go with them, take less money, go with that person, because great is impossible. It's impossible to find. So this applies across the board. If you have a great girlfriend, boyfriend, sister, brother, mother, father, business partner, please don't try and be too smart. Don't try and be the smartest person in the room. You have great. It is impossible. It's inside the 1% of the 1%. Follow that person. Stick to them like glue, because they're impossible to find. Everybody thinks they're great until they actually have to step in the arena and be great. It's impossible to be great. And great, I'm afraid, you cannot cheat it. Listen, greatness is a price you have to pay daily, right? Greatness is systems and the repetition at a high level of whatever you do. Accounting, surfer, it's all the same. Great is impossible to find. Right? Just cherish great. When you have it, it's so rare, folks. Pep Guardiola is going to win his fourth League Cup title in 4 seasons. Never been done before. He's already on 3 in 3 seasons. They've monopolized that title. But that's not really, I think, his greatness. And everybody accuses him of being a money manager, like this money manager title that's thrown at him. Taylor, listen, I hate to break it to you. Alex Ferguson spent the second most in terms of cash in the first real 10 years of the Premier League. That's 92-93 to 2002. I've taken that year. The only people that spent more money than him was Newcastle, but that Newcastle's been a mess forever. And I think they made a huge mistake by getting Alan Shearer, but that's a whole other conversation. They let go of Andy Cole and bought Alan Shearer because he was the hometown boy. In the end, Man United got Andy Cole. The rest is glorious history. But Fergie outspent the league for 10 years. He didn't come close to this sort of dominance. And then people tell me, yes, but Fergie won the treble and he won the Champions League. Folks, Fergie was in charge of Manchester United from 1986, the year I was born. Do you know when he won the Champions League? 1999. Now you do the maths. That's 13 years. 13 years. So in those 13 years, not only has he outspent everybody in Europe, because at that time nobody had money but Manchester United and Real Madrid, right? Manchester United, AC Milan, Real Madrid. Those were the clubs with money. Everyone else, they were scrambling. Barcelona was not today's Barcelona. So don't give me Fergie was some genius who outwitted everybody. It's rubbish. Go and look at the numbers. Fergie for 10 years spent the most money in Europe, and in England, Newcastle outspent him. Okay, he outdid them, but I mean, they were a mess. Pep Guardiola took one season to turn around a football club in the most competitive environment we have ever seen in any league in the world outside of the NFL. There is no league. Listen, the Premier League back then was a one-team league. People look at Barcelona or look at Bayern Munich now and PSG. That was the Premier League for the first 10 years. That was the Premier League for the first 10 years. So don't tell me Fergie didn't outspend everybody. Don't tell me Fergie's some genius. And don't tell me Pep is a money manager. Fergie did it for 13 years, actually. It took him 13 years to win the Champions League. I'm not taking away from the greatness of Sir Alex Ferguson. I'm just telling you what happened. This idea that Fergie came in and he was just a genius and built it with the kids is absolute nonsense. Forget that. You need to spend money to win in this league. But Fergie had no competition for 13 years, and it took him 13 years to go and win the Champions League. Trust me, you give Pep Guardiola 13 years at Man City right now, you're going to get 3 or 4 Champions League titles. Trust me right now, I can tell you for free. If he stays for 13 years at Man City, 3 or 4 Champions League, it's a write-off. Fergie in 13 years, 1 Champions League title. In a league where he had no competition. Do me a favor. Listen, Pep has been unbelievable and has set the bar from the very beginning. In his first season, he goes to Barcelona first team. What does he do? Treble. And don't tell me that's a one-team league. Real Madrid are right there. Fergie had for 13 years, he had it his own way. Never came close to a treble. He had the best team, the best players, the most money. Never came close to a treble. It never came close to a clean sweep in the local league. Pep Guardiola in his second season swept the league. Swept the local scene, cup, every title, and he was close in the Champions League. In the most competitive league, certainly football in the world, Pep Guardiola has elevated himself above everybody, and everyone's got money. Because Chelsea spent 250 million in one transfer window. They are nowhere near it. Chelsea have spent big in the last 2-3 years. I mean, they lost Hazard. That's a problem, but I don't want to hear it's a money manager thing. If it was just a money thing, Lampard would be at least competitive with Man City this season, and he's not going to get close. Jurgen Klopp has spent over £500 million. He's got a league title and a Champions League. That's it in 5 years. 5 years. Klopp hasn't reset the clock on England. He hasn't been historical, and he has spent big. I don't want to hear he hasn't spent money. He has spent big. He's broken the record for world record for a goalkeeper. He's broken the world record for a centre back. It's been good. It's been nice. It's been very good from Liverpool. It's been historic with Man City. It's been historic. Listen, nobody's perfect, but Pep Guardiola is, I'm afraid, as close as you're going to get. Don't give me the money manager thing. That everybody cherishes Sir Alex Ferguson. Okay, if you do, you say that's greatness. Okay, but he also spent the most money while he was at Man United. And for 13 years, it was a free run. And then you know what happened? Some guy came from Russia, evened things out. Oh, Fergie was a little tricky. Got a little tricky once everyone came with money. Pep Guardiola had his fun at Bayern Munich, had his fun at Barcelona. He's spending money with everybody. Man United have not stopped spending money. They've spent toe-to-toe with Man City. Maybe 200 or 300 million either way, but they've broken world records for Martial, at the back, they've broken it for Maguire. They've broken for Pogba. They've now got Bruno. Aaron Wan-Bissaka has a British transfer record for 15 million at right back. So Luke Shaw cost 30 big ones, right? Bailly cost 35. Lindelof cost 31. Fred cost 50. So don't tell me United aren't spending. Pep spending, and they're going toe to toe. It looks very, very different when Pep spends and everyone else spends. And it's a quick turnaround. First season, all right, get the rubbish out of here. Second season, we're making history. And it's all close. And I'm going to get 100 points in a league where people told me I couldn't come and manage. He's not a money manager. Fergie had it his own way forever. Pep's different. He's different. Sometimes you have to, guys, when Elon Musk comes along, when Oprah comes along, right? When Denzel Washington comes along, they're different. Everyone else has the same resources as Denzel. Everyone gets the same director. You get Pep's different. And when genius comes along, like, just stop criticizing the guy. He's the greatest you've ever seen, and he's the greatest you'll ever see in our time. Because it's artistry mixed with clinical. It is really, he always says, they ask Pep, why do you dress up? And he says, football is a symphony. And he wants to respect the game like he's going to the opera, is what he says. He really is, when you talk about some of the great performances in history, you think of Pavarotti at the Sydney Opera House. Every game is like that. Pep Guardiola just never misses a note, and he does it at the absolute highest level. Nobody's perfect, but Pep's close. Just accept it now. You don't have to like Barcelona. You don't have to like Pep Guardiola. If you're a Man United fan, you don't have to like Pep. But Fergie and Man United were Man City forever, right? They were. They outspent everybody. They had more money than everybody. And Fergie he didn't do this. He did not do this. He took 13 years to win a Champions League title. He took forever, 13 years to go and get the treble. And Pep's done it in 2.5 seasons, 3 seasons in now. Be honest. Just go and look at the numbers. Pep's better than Fergie. I mean, you give Pep the same amount of time as Fergie, he's going to win 13 titles. He's going to win 3 or 4 Champions League titles. You give Pep 27 years with these kind of resources, and it's a more competitive league. Why can people never accept that? It's a more competitive league, and Pep is still head and shoulders above everybody. And Liverpool are spending, and Man United is spending, and Chelsea are spending, and they're not close. They are not close. It's not like Pep's breaking any world records either. He's not spending Maguire money on anybody. He's not spending Pogba money on anybody. He turned Raheem Sterling into one of the most effective players in the league. Phil Foden. John Stones now is looking like Franco Baresi. Don't give me this money manager thing. And especially if you're a Man United fan, I don't want to hear it. I'm not some millennial who started watching football yesterday. I watched Fergie outspend the league for at least 10 years. When Roman Abramovich came, United were no longer the big boys in town, and nobody likes that. So you start throwing things like, oh, they're plastic teams. Please, go and look at how much money Man United spent in that first 10 years of the Premier League. Only Newcastle outspent them. Nobody else was close. And Fergie came nowhere near what Pep's done in his first 3 years. So you got to say it. Listen, these first 3 years, way better than Fergie in a more competitive league. Folks, when you have great girlfriend, mom, dad, boss, just appreciate great. Sometimes we criticize it. Yes, we know, because we can't identify with it, and it's out of our realm. So our insecurity is to pull it down and nitpick. Don't nitpick. This is greatness. Enjoy it. We know what Pep's like. He's probably got another 2-3 seasons and he'll get out of here. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Pep Guardiola. Wow. Some show. Listen, they schooled Man United. And that Man United team cost an absolute fortune. That cost an absolute fortune. But they couldn't come close. It was men versus boys last night. Congratulations to Man City on their 4th title. They will obliterate Tottenham in the final. All right, take some comments before I finish off on what I think Leo Messi should do. Would you look who it is? Good old Jesse Randolph, huh? Good old the Hoff. He says, yeah, City better stop Mourinho. Well, it's going to happen. Don't worry about that. Jesse says, Pep hasn't won the Champions League without Messi. I mean, what are you going to say? Fergie didn't win the Champions League without, what must I say, without Paul Scholes and Cristiano Ronaldo. Like, it's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to do. Listen, to win the Champions League is hard. It's hard. I mean, what you're going to say? Carlo Ancelotti hasn't won the Champions League without Kaká and Shevchenko. Okay, fair enough. That's a hard thing to win. But I'll still maintain this till the day I die. The Champions League's not the hardest tournament in the world to win. It's not. Anybody can win a cup tournament. I'm sorry. Just go and look at the variation of teams. Let's just take the last 10 years. Look how many different teams in the last 10 years have won the Champions League. The Premier League's the hardest tournament in the world to win because 38 games tells you what you are, right? Champions League, what you got to win? Maybe 10, 12 games. You got to be at your best. I mean, Man United went 21 games unbeaten in England and still barely made the top 4. So I think this idea, because I believe it's an era of correlation. People think, oh, Champions League, it's the best teams from all the leagues. But as we saw when Monaco won the league, or Porto won the Champions League, you don't need to be the best team in Europe. I mean, how many times have teams been second or third in their own league, gone on and won the Champions League? You know, that great AC Milan team under Carlo Ancelotti. I don't know if you know this, but they only won the Serie A once under Carlo Ancelotti. But they were, I think, in 4 Champions League finals in 6 years. That was Maldini, Nesta, Stam, Cafu. What a team that was. Ambrosini, Seedorf, Shevchenko, Kaká, Inzaghi. They won the Serie A once, but win the Champions League over and over. I don't think the Champions League is the hardest competition. I think the Premier League is harder. So I would say Pep's performance in the Premier League says more about him than anything else. But yeah, I get the Champions League without Messi thing. But you can say that for so many managers. Like what are you going to say about, Mourinho is unique. I think he's one of 2 different clubs that does, that changes things. But look at the managers that have won. What do you say about Fergie? He couldn't win it without Keane. Or I guess Keane didn't play in that first final. Couldn't win it without Scholes, I'll say. Couldn't win it without Beckham. And then say couldn't win it without Ronaldo. I mean, he won it twice. So, Messi or not, he did something great. Zidane has won 3 in a row. Is he greater than Fergie? Whew, that is a good question. I don't think so, because I think winning league titles makes you great. But that is a good question. That Zidane run was unbelievable. Listen, I think that's a tough one because you broke the record for Bale, you broke the world record for Ronaldo. You had the 2 best players in the world, or 2 of the 3 best in the world for 5 years. And Toni Kroos, who was the best midfielder for 5 years, and Luka Modric, and Marcelo, who was the best left back. Whew. That's a good question. It's a good question. I'd probably still have to give Fergie the nod there, but it's close because I don't want to be a hypocrite. I think the Premier League is harder to win than the Champions League, but it is remarkable what Zidane did. So if you're putting a gun to my head, I'd say no. I'd still take Fergie over Zidane. I need to see Zidane over a little bit more time, and I'd like to see, is he capable of winning some La Liga titles, especially with Barcelona being strong? Jesse says, didn't you know United is winning the league? Oh, my gosh. Now, I think Jesse, being an Arsenal fan, that's a bit of sarcasm. Yeah, I've seen it. I mean, Man United, they just, of course, they're going to win, the treble, huh? I guess they can't win the real treble. They're in the Europa League. But yeah, I hear you, Jesse. They've been going mental on social media. And we'll finish off with this. Jesse says, they threw the match last night to focus on the league. LOL. I like that. So Jesse having a dig at Man United fans there. All right, I'm not touching that one because I'm a professional and I can't show any bias on the show. Jesse's having a go at Man United. It was a little bit of a humbling. I've seen some very, very, very funny memes, and some of my football groups have been electric after United. Really, it was a schooling. I mean, if you watch that Man City game, I said 4-1, which it could have been, really. I think they missed up a couple of opportunities, but wow. Listen, I think that showed you how far Man United have to go. And it's not a money thing, right? But it just shows you, everybody keeps telling me Bruno is on a level. Like, Bruno, take control of that game. Take it away from De Bruyne. Take it away from Gundogan. But where was Pogba? And I said yesterday, That was Pogba's chance, right, to show you that, hey, I'm not just a backup singer. Again, where was he? Gundogan, De Bruyne. And by the way, you don't have the excuse that Chelsea have. Chelsea fans can say, oh, listen, it's our first year with this team, so no wonder we looked so raw and naive. Pogba's in his 5th season now with McTominay and Fred and Bruno. Everybody tells me that Bruno is Eusebio. So it's not like Pogba had to do it all on his own. But my God, that was boys and men, right? I mean, Phil Foden looked braver on the ball than poor Pogba. Pogba was nowhere. You can't pay 90 million pounds for that. But anyway, I guess Man United fans don't want to hear that everybody keeps hating on Pogba. And then De Bruyne just showed you there's different levels, folks. You know, when the expectations are this low, Bruno, of course, looks like, you know, he really, it's the second coming of Eusebio. And then you put him up against De Bruyne and you get to see them on the same field and you go, oh, that's what taking control of a football match looks like. That's what a friend of mine, we were texting and I said last night, do you know what it looked like? Every time City were playing, to me, it looked like, you know, when a predator, like a lion, has its jaws around the neck of a deer or something that it's caught, or a buck, and you can see the life leaving its body and it's constantly just squeezing and squeezing. That's what it looked like, you know, like a python. You know, I don't know if you know, boa constrictors is every time you breathe, they squeeze tighter and essentially that crushes your rib cage and then the rest is history. That's what it looked like last night. It looked like a predator just squeezing the life out of its prey. And sure, that was something. That was something. And they had Pogba and Bruno, and that was Man United's full team. And that, by the way, I was saying to a friend last night, that was Man City's B team. Because they've still got Aguero to come back. They've got Gabriel Jesus to come back. Mendy didn't play. They've got Kyle Walker to come back. They've got Bernardo Silva to come back. They've got, by the way, Fernandinho is their backup defensive midfielder. He scored a cracking goal. He's such a legend. That was Man City's B team. So, scary stuff. Scary, scary stuff. And I said they were going to win the league. They were going to cruise the league. I said at the beginning of the season, if you've been watching the show. All right, let's finish off on this. Look, I don't want to take too much time on this. Leo Messi is the greatest player of all time, all right? Like, let's stop playing games and Ronaldo, Messi. It's not close. It's not close. Go and look at Messi's 100 greatest goals. It looks like he's playing FIFA and everybody else. It's like he's controlling everyone else and he gets to do whatever he wants. But that comes with an ego. I don't want people thinking Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi are nice guys because they get put up by Nike and Adidas and they advertise at us like, oh, look at these perfect people. Listen, when you're that good, the greater the person, the greater the player, the bigger the ego. Trust me, I've been around great. But what they can do is deliver on the field. Is they've got self-awareness, right? Great players have massive ego, massive self-awareness. Right? You see it with like Ravel Morrison, Paul Pogba, Mendy, Neymar is great ability, no self-awareness. Problems. The greatness of Ronaldo and Messi is greater talent, great ego, but the self-awareness probably even transcends those two things. So that's the gift of these great. That's gift of great anyway, right? Elon Musk knows he's great. He's happy to tell you on Twitter every now and then. But his self-awareness to never late, always pitching up, hardest working guy out there, right? Warren Buffett, hard work, self-awareness, big ego, because they'll flex on you, these guys. But they're also self-aware that, hey, keep it in line. Keep it in line. But listen, at this stage, Barcelona is the house that Messi built, right? People think Barcelona have been winning forever. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but Barcelona have 5 Champions League titles. Leo Messi has 4. Barcelona, as it stands, is the house that Messi built. Right? Like, let that one sink in. I think a lot of people just think the heritage, it's not the same. It's not the same as Real Madrid. Real Madrid have been winning since the 50s with Di Stefano. They were doing La Decima and it's 11. They're going to move on to 12. Barcelona and Messi are synonymous with each other. Listen, I've never believed sportsmen have to be loyal. Loyalty is a politician's word, right? It's like a manipulative word. So I don't believe in loyalty. I always say I'm loyal to whoever pays me the most. I'm also very loyal. Yes, if you pay me the most, I'm loyal to you. Leo Messi, though, this is a unique case. If he stays with Barcelona for another 10 years, he's a billionaire. This is a legacy type of relationship. Because everybody's talking about, hey, he should go to Man City. Listen, some things aren't worth it. Because if he leaves now, you know what he is? He's the 50-year-old guy who needs a sports car and the 25-year-old girlfriend. It never works out. Folks, when you have a great partner, I was just talking about it. And, we all fall into this trap. He's still human. He's still human. We all try and be happier than happy. There is no place Leo Messi will ever go where he'll be as happy as Barcelona. He is one of their own. Listen, he will make mistakes in life. They will protect him. In Catalonia, he will have everything. They will protect him. They will give him every opportunity in the world. They will give him every marketing opportunity after he stops playing globally. They will help him with his funds. They will probably help him set up a team in Argentina. They will help him set up whatever he wants. If he leaves Barcelona, though, it's over, because this type of relationship, folks, there is no nice divorce. But the more you love somebody, it is always more painful. In fact, if you break up with somebody and it doesn't hurt, you didn't love that person. Leo Messi, don't try and be happier than happy. People do this all the time. I know, I have friends who like, hey, how's your relationship? Yeah, it's just fine. Like, oh, that's great. Like, if your relationship's just fine, that's great. No, well, she's not as good looking as I want her to be. Like, what are you talking about? What are you, 18? She's great. She's reliable. She's got your back. Don't try and be happier than happy. Leo Messi, you're already great. Barcelona is great. You've already built it. They're probably going to, if they don't name a stadium after him, they'll name a stand after him, and they'll name a training facility after him. And then they'll make him the face of Barcelona for the next 25 years. He's a billionaire by the time he's 50. They'll do everything for him. He leaves, it's over. And I'll tell you the other problem Leo Messi has. I've been to Argentina. I've been around Argentina. I did some time there. They don't love him there like they love Maradona. So it's not like he retires and he's the Brazilian Ronaldo or Ronaldinho and he goes home and they embrace him. It's not like that. It is not like that. Trust me, I've been there. I felt it. I see it. There is no Leo Messi anywhere in Argentina. I did a month in Argentina from north to south. They don't love him there like they love Maradona. Believe you me. I'll tell you what, they love Gabriel Batistuta more than they love him. They love Juan Román Riquelme, and I'm not just talking about Boca Juniors, by the way. I'm talking about from north to south. I'm telling you right now, they do not love Leo Messi back home like Barcelona do. Folks, don't try and be happier than happy. Good is great. We're all complex as people. And now, by the way, it's time for legacy. And we've seen with sportsmen. Remember, with sportsmen, their whole lives, everything's been done for them. When they get out of sport, most sportsmen struggle. Go and watch Michael Phelps's new documentary. There's a few athletes in there about how they struggle once everything stops. So for Leo Messi, I mean, folks, just stay. You can have whatever money you want. You've got all the power with the board. Just stay. It's a great setup. You got the rest of your life. You belong together. You'll probably win another 2 or 3 Champions Leagues before you're done. Just be a grown-up. Folks, it's so hard to be loved. If any of you, we've all had bad relationships. It's so hard to find love. When you find it, don't let it go. This is a match made in heaven. They brought him up from a 13-year-old. They took him from Argentina. I'm not sure if people know the story, but Leo Messi had growth spurt problems. They paid for all of the operations, and apparently it was painful, and there were certain hormones that he needed. They paid for everything. He is one of their own, and he's worked out like nothing else. Just stay. Don't go to Man City. There'll always be money for he's a legacy player. He's the greatest of all time. Don't go for money. Don't ever leave for money. It's never a good idea. It's never a good idea. And if he leaves, it'll never be the same again. It'll never be the same again. And my rule, I've always said this. I've always said it, and I'm fortunate at this stage, I'm not being a hypocrite in my life, is I've had 2 serious relationships. One, we nearly got back together. But my rule is, when you leave, never go back. I'll tell you why. The reason you left will always exist. Don't romanticize it. Leo Messi leaves. Whatever his gripe was with Barcelona, they'll always look at him side-eye. Always. It'll never be the same again. And it will be a tragedy because he can go and get all the money he wants at Man City. It'll never be the same. He's got legacy now. Just be happy, dude. He's got legacy. He's got power. We saw he forced out the board like I told you he would earlier in the season. Just go and be happy now. Just go and be happy. That's what I'd do if I were Leo Messi. And that's what I think he will do. Ultimately, greatness is a series of, if you're in computer programming or stats, you call it a concatenation of great decisions. He's done that throughout his whole career. Why mess it up now? Why mess it up now? All right. That's the show for today. Finish off with a few comments. Good old Jesse Randolph says, Messi is the better player, but there's an argument Ronaldo had the better career. Sure. Listen, their careers are comparable. I think I'm talking more about talent. You can't argue that. You'd have to say that. Although I don't respect international football, but you'd have to say Ronaldo, they won a Euros, right? Other than that, I mean, I'm not going to give him the respect of winning at Man United and then Real Madrid. It's the 2 biggest clubs, financial powerhouses in the world. If anything, you want to give Leo Messi credit, is he took a team that had won 1 Champions League. He arrived and they won 4. So Cristiano Ronaldo, you might say, oh, you outspent the whole world and you only gave us 1 Champions League. And whenever they went head to head, Leo Messi made a mess of him in the Champions League. So I'd still take Messi. I mean, and to be honest with you, I don't know if the argument is between Messi and Ronaldo for greatest of all time, but that's a conversation for another time. Jesse, that's a great argument. Maybe we can have it on another show. Sean Bosch. Oh, do you know what, Sean? I hope you're related to the Bosch family that designs all of the electronics, because I hope wherever you are, you're sitting on a yacht. Because I just realized, like, in this pandemic, like, I'm so happy in my life right now. Like, I have great leadership at work. I'm working really hard. I'm happy for everybody. So, Sean, in Bulgaria, by the way, Sean, I don't know if you've been snowboarding in Bulgaria. They're some of the best snowboarding you'll ever have, folks. If you're into winter sport, the best value for money you can have in the world. I've always said, go and snowboard in Slovakia, go and snowboard in Bulgaria, top notch and great people. And by the way, if you're a single man, go to Bulgaria. Sean, I don't know if you're single, so maybe don't comment if you do have a partner about some of the best looking people on this planet in Bulgaria. Just like a hidden gem. Absolutely love Bulgaria. So Sean, shout out to you, but I also hope you're related to the Bosch family. That was my point of my little rant of, I'm so happy in my life. I want everybody to make $1 billion this year. I want everybody to be as happy as possible. So Sean, shout out to you. Thank you. He says, good show. Shout out from Bulgaria. Sean, love it, brother. Absolutely love it. I hope you're enjoying Bulgaria. It must be freezing cold there. I hope you got your skis and your snowboard out. And I don't know if any of the resorts are open that side, but I would love to come and join Sean in Bulgaria. And Sean, I hope you are safe and with loved ones out there, or whatever it may be that takes you out there. Sean Bosch, hopefully related to the Bosch family that gives us all of these great electronics. And I hope you are just on a yacht. Maybe you're on a yacht somewhere in the wintry Bulgaria. Hey, listen, not too far from Bulgaria. I once spent two of the wildest weeks of my life. Croatia boat week. Wow. Wild times. But anyway, different place, different time. Sean, hope you're good out there. To all of you, I hope you're good out there. By the way, I'm MKT. And if you missed it at the beginning of the show, big ego. So I had to name a show after myself. Just unbelievable that some people can have the ego to name a show after themselves. But that's what happened. Hey, that's what happened. I did it. That's what egos are for. Great stuff. Great show tonight. That was really, really fun. I like it. He's Gareth Cliff. I am MKT, as I've said. This is Cliff Central Sport. And this is the MKT Show. And for now, ladies and gentlemen, you could have been anywhere with anybody. You chose to be with us. And that's awesome. But for now, we are the hell out of here.